Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I think we are here from many different countries. So first of all, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to see you. Please open your camera so we can see your face. Don't bother if you are in your pajamas or wherever you are. I'm Yaron. I'm Points of View co-founder, and I'm very excited to be here with you. So again, thank you, first of all, for making the effort and not only signing up for this webinar, but actually also arriving. I know it's not something taken for granted, and I promise you we have a very interesting webinar. We have about 55 minutes left, and I think you're going to get some nice observations about using metaphors and photos in training. So first of all, I'm interested if you are familiar with Points of View or not. If you are familiar in Points of View, you can just write in the chat yes. And if no, then just write no. I'm curious how many new people to Points of View we have here. Yes, no Points of View. Yes. Great. Okay. And do we have somebody completely new? I'm waiting for my cards to arrive. Ray, I'm excited for you. They are probably on the way. Okay, so first of all, it's a pleasure. And most of you know Points of View. So thank you again for doing this journey. And we have a new person to Points of View, Golmira, I think. Welcome. So let me just share my screen and I will start my presentation. And also just curious, if you can write where you're from. I know that we have Catherine. Hello, Cat, from Paris. Just write maybe your country. It will be nice to know where are you from, because I know that we are coming from different places: Madrid, Croatia, Greece, UK, Romania, Bulgaria, Italy, Chile, Argentina, South Macedonia, USA. Yay. So yes, I think some of us really in our pajama. I knew what I was saying. So let me share my screen and we will start. So we have two objectives, first of all, to our session. Our first objective is to explore innovative methodologies for the new manager. And we will talk a lot about it, about the old manager, the new manager, the skills of the new manager. So that will be the first objective. And the second one, it's to understand the power of photos and metaphors in organizational training, and hopefully to get you some insights how it can be a very valuable tool for you. I know that some of you here are coaches, business coaches, and organizational consultants. And I know some of you are managers and leaders in organizations. So I think, I know that the session is going to be valuable for both. A little bit about Points of View. So we are empowering growth through experiential learning. We have a variety of tools, physical and digital tools, that are based on photos and on metaphors. Actually, our tool speaks the language of the 21st century, and the language of photos. And photos really is an amazing tool. I will talk a lot about it later, to ignite imagination, creativity, emotions, intuition. It's really like a kind of a key to our right brain. So we have a variety of tools. We have them in more than 30 languages. And besides our tools, we have different kind of training programs that we provide and deliver to organizations all around the world. We are working with huge ones like Google, Coca-Cola, Intel, NASA, and also small startups. And besides that, we also have an academy where we are taking professionals and individuals into a personal development process. So this is us. I will just say last thing about Points of View. We are not, our forte, it's not about delivering content. What we really know how to do best in Points of View, we know how to deliver a deep and transformative experience. An experience that really helps you to shift your perspective, to see things from a different angle. And this is where we believe that the change and breaking patterns is starting. So before we dive into the content, a few months ago, Gallup Workplace Trends report was out, and there are lots of insights, and I just picked up very few of them to mention. It's available online, by the way. So a few amazing facts. One, that only 23% of the employee are engaged. Now, this is crazy. By the way, in the last few years, there is an increase in the level of engagement, and yet it's only 23% of the employee. When we say engage, it means employees that are connected to the organization value, purpose, mission. They're coming to work when they are really emotionally engaged and they care. So only 23 of the employees are engaged, which means in the end, that it's less productivity and growth, and people are more involved where it's mostly easy for them, where it takes a little bit more of resources and energy. Most of the employees, when they are not engaged, they don't go there. The second thing is, and it's connected to the first fact, that because of the low engagement, there is a lack or very low feeling of belonging. It means that the team connection is suffering. There is a lot of employee retention all around businesses. More and more employees continue to a new place, a little bit more money. They are not really feeling connected to the workplace. Another thing that becomes more and more issue, and they are expecting it's going to be more and more in the next few years, employees are stressed and disconnected. There are different reasons, some global reasons, but it's deeper than that. And there is more and more understanding that employees are going to have to find some support and solutions to their employees regarding some stress and disconnection, because it's going to become a more severe issue. And the last thing, of course, that everything starts trickle down engagement. When the managers are engaged, everything looks different. And this is why we recommend every time we are working with organizations to put the focus on the managers. And yes, we can do lots of things with the employees as well, but the change starts with the leaders and the managers. So I'm going to share with you now two observations about the old manager methodologies and the new manager methodologies. I'm going to share with you afterwards two case studies. And I'm going then afterwards give you some time to ask questions, and I would love to hear you. So the old manager methodologies, and just to say, I don't think there is an old manager methodology and a new one, and especially in the organizations. There are organizations that are more oriented old manager methodologies, but they do have as well some new manager methodology. So it's not black and white, and the whole workplace is going through a shift. It started 15 years ago, and it's become even more significant after the COVID. But yet, when we look at the organizations, we can divide them into two different approaches. So the old manager methodologies, the way that the old manager works, they are working top-down decision-making. The approach is that the manager has all the knowledge, all the experience, they know what to do. They say, we do, no question asked. This is the approach, and this is what they bring to the table. Also, old manager methodologies, it means that they're all the time busy. They are making things happen. They are busy in action items, and they are reacting to problem solving. They are not trying to expect things in advance. Something has happened, they're giving it a solution. They are fixers. This is one of their added value. They know how to fix things very quickly. And again, most of the things they know how to fix themselves. Somebody have a problem, they come to them, they fix it, and all day long, they are fixing other people's problems in the organizations or clients. Another thing is limited employee engagement, which means the old manager, most of the time, doesn't really care what the employee feel or think, or if they have any solution, any idea. They don't really care. If they don't understand the importance of it, for them, it's a waste of time. And this means not only that they don't give space to it. When an employee comes with a good idea, they are dismissing it very, very quickly. And also something very clear, focus on compliance. For the old manager, there is a protocol, there is a structure. there is a system. You have to follow it. Nothing else matters. If you don't follow it, don't talk with me. Okay? And everything that goes a little bit out of the line, it's unacceptable. You have to follow the protocol. And if I can summarize the old manager methodology, or like the dominant mode that they are really present, is the mode of doing. And the mode of doing, it's an amazing mode. It's amazing mode in the sense that they are making things happen. They are very mission-oriented. They are very task-oriented. Again, they are moving. They are in high speed, 100 kilometers per hour, doing, they are moving mountains. And this is the upside. The downside, and there are lots of prices also that those managers are paying. Some of them, by the way, emotional, employee engagement, for example, and the lack of commitment and belonging in their team. And some of them even personal prices. I think all of us, or most of us, can identify in this context or some context that we have also this ability of being in our doing mode. And sometimes when it's overdoing, it hurts our health. It means exhaustion. It means a feeling that we are all alone. Everything is on our shoulders. We have 10 balls in the air juggling. Only one unexpected thing can really make everything fall to the ground. So it's the price sometimes can be very, very high in that sense, and sometimes can really even affect our health. And again, it has also beautiful upsides. It's very important to see it and to know it and to acknowledge it. So this is the old manager methodologies. Let's talk a little bit about the new manager methodologies. The new manager methodologies, by the way, it's a different language. It's two different languages. It's not only methodologies, it's a completely different approaches and languages. So the new manager is a collaborative decision making. They love to encourage people around them to offer suggestions. They are consulting before they are making a decision. They are coming from a completely different approach that as many points of view as possible will enrich or will open up more possibility for them to be precise in their decision making. Employee engagement and caring, and I think maybe the most important word in this presentation that I would like you to take from here, it's the caring. And this is a very hot topic, I think, many places around the world. And, I will say something that will sound a little bit crazy. I don't think for you, because many of you here are also professionals. But in a way, our role as managers is to be like parents. In a way, we are taking care of our employee like we are their parents, in the sense that really trying to understand what they are going through, what they need, to show affection, to really give them a feeling that we are taking care of them, that we got their back, that we're really listening to them. Caring, there are lots of researchers all around the world that shows that caring managers brings the best and the most amazing results. When we are showing caring to our employees, to our team members, it's making them feel heard, seen, accepted. They feel belonged, and they want to contribute even more than usual. And again, employee knows how to identify if I'm asking right now, how are you? Because this is my automatic pilot question, or if I really ask it because I really care and I see that something is happening. And wait a minute, how are you? Forget about the work, we'll do it later. Look at me. What's going on? This is what makes the difference. The new manager methodologies means that they are focusing on developing and coaching. They understand their role as managers. It's not only to manage and make things happen, work related, but really develop their team and to coach them and to mentor them. And they are taking time to have strategic planning, proactive planning, taking the time to maybe think upfront what can go wrong, finding new solutions, developing new solutions before the problem even arouse, before people even know that this is what they need. They already started to think about. They are looking all the time at not at the next step, at step number 3 or 4. And in order to do that, and brings me to the dominant state of mind mode, is their being. In order really to be in a proactive strategic planning and to really see my employee and to be available, to really see them, I need to be in a completely different mode, which is the being mode. And again, if you will even look at the brain frequency of those two managers, it's a completely different brain frequency. The new manager is in a frequency that the waves are much more distant in the reach. There is much more space for the present to be present. And again, the funny thing is, it's funny and even sad. I think most of us, especially in the Western world, since we were born, we are taught only to be doing mode oriented. This is our language. This is what we know how to do best. You know, I remember when I was a kid, when I was 10 years old, and there was like summertime vacation, and I used to sit at home watching TV, enjoying my moment. And then when I only heard my mother's car, entering into the street, I can hear the engine. She's coming back from work, and I hear the car parking in the parking lot, and the handbrake goes up. My whole body will go into stress. Automatically, I started to get up. I was just watching TV a moment before that, and now I'm getting up, starting to take this over there, the dishes, that. When I knew when my mother is entering home, I have to do something. Otherwise, she will ask me, Yaron, what did you do today? And for her, if I'm not in doing mode, I didn't do nothing. And each one of us got this message this way or another, and we don't know how to take a timeout. We don't know how to pause. We don't know how to shift between making things happen, very task-oriented, and to a mode when I'm just enjoying the moment, allowing myself to be, and to meet myself, and to connect with my colleagues, with my team members. And in this state of mind, creativity comes, and we will know exactly what we need to do next. And again, this mode also have some price. If we are only in a dominant mode of being, then our ability to make things happen and to bring results is also limited. And brings us to the points of view approach, and this is a part of what we are doing in organizations. We call it, we are connecting mind and hearts. We are helping organizations and managers to speak both of the languages and to integrate both parts and to know how to talk each of the languages and when to shift from one mode into another mode. We see this as our calling. And this is a part of the new methodologies that we are bringing. I will share with you a little bit about photos and metaphors, but it's much more than that. We believe that the way to integrate mind and heart is going through an experience. Because when we're going into experience, we are really, experiencing everything through our skin. We can really go to ourselves, to the depths of what we understand from the body. And after we are experiencing a powerful activity, then we can bring the head and the mind and to put all the logic parts into that. So this is a part of the magic. And again, photos and metaphors, only a small part of it. We are using also mindfulness. We are using storytelling. We are using music as a way to really ignite both mind and heart and to find a way to bring them together. And let's talk a little bit about why photos and metaphors. So first of all, I want to say something about photos. Photos, as I said before, they are the language of the 21st century. This is the language, by the way, that not only for the 21st century, for thousands of years, since the cave, we used to communicate through images, through symbols. Through symbols and images, we can really understand very, very quickly lots of information through one visual. And think about it, that photos are in a way like a footprint of our minds, of our soul. They are allowing us to take some moments from the past who happened to us. When we are looking at a photo, it's something that already, happened. So it gives us the ability to take something from the past, to bring it now to the present, to be in touch with that. And by doing it, we can affect and develop and sometimes even heal our future. And one more thing about photos, photos speaks to our right brain, to our more intuitive, imaginative, associative part. And when we are looking at a photograph, we don't realize it, or at a metaphor, because most of the time we are used to look at metaphors or images very shallow. We look at them and that's it. But when we take the time to go a little bit deeper, and this is what we do in Points of View, and this is what we teach also as a part of this new language, when we are looking at a photograph and we are going deeper, this is when we understand that, maybe the best way to explain it, some of us, if we are lucky, we have a photo album. A photo album that maybe our parents created for us, if we are lucky. And our parents or somebody who love us, created a photo album that represent us in different parts. They chose exactly which moments they want to present, and people around us. And again, this is a different story. So regardless if we have a photo album or if we don't have a photo album, we all have an inner photo album. And every experience, specifically the powerful one and the significant one, all the experiences that we are going through our life, in the end, they are captured into a single or a sequence of images that are charged with emotions, with sensations, with feelings, with thoughts, with energy. They are capsuled all together into a one or a sequence of images that represent so much to us. When we are looking at a photo, and this is what I hope you will take from this short webinar, it's to go deeper, because once we understand that a photograph triggers our own inner photo album. And again, when we are in a mode of more being mode, and we can start to reflect inwards to our feelings and our sensations, we can start identify the triggers that photos are doing to us, the memories that they bring, and suddenly a new world of possibilities is opening up. So this is really briefly why we find the work with photos and metaphors so powerful. And many times, by the way, people find it much more easy to talk through photos or images, to articulate their feelings, their thoughts, and also to relate to themselves. When we are relating to ourselves through a photo or a metaphor, it's much more easier for us to touch also significant or challenging or intimidating issues, rather than to really deal with it directly. It really gives us the possibility to hide in a way and to feel safe, but at the same time to start and deal with content that maybe be more complicated for us to deal with. So some things about why photos as the language of the 21st centuries, also emotional engagement. When we are looking at a photo, as I said, it brings so many memories as emotions. And again, in the deeper levels, it reminds us some things that happen in charge with emotions. And again, talking about engagement, this is one of the best way to create engagement to triggering the photos. Also creative thinking. Something amazing that is happening in the Points of View training programs, when we are inviting participants to look at their photo card and to start to imagine what else is there maybe that they don't see right now in this specific frame, on the left side of the frame, on the right, or around. When we are using photographs and we are starting to reimagine what else can be there or can be eliminated from there, it really brings a whole new creative way of thinking. Some researchers around the world show very interesting that visual learning methods are 83 more effective than just talking, for example. And that 43, when we are using 43, when we're using visual learnings, there are 43 more persuasive than those without. This is also crazy. And last thing, I want to say something about photographs, that visuals shape not only our own personal story, they are shaping also our culture story. Think about it. Regardless of which country right now you are, each and every one of us in their own region, in their own country, in their own nation, we have some images that we capture, that we received since we were young, that they are telling our culture story. There are, by the way, some that are collective, like Albert Einstein, you know, taking his tongue out. I think it's a photograph that all of us know, and there are many others, and there are some that every nation, this is her or its way to tell the story and to pay it forward. And this is what we are doing also with organizations. We are helping them, the teams and the whole organization, to tell their story, their culture, and the essence of what they do and who they are through images and metaphors. And I want to share with you 2 case studies, and then I will, if anybody wants to ask something, by the way, before I move forward, you can just raise your hand or jump in or write something in the chat. In a minute, I will go. I would like to share with you some case studies. If you have any comment, please feel free. We would love to hear you. And just to mention that there are many, many ways to use photographs and images in many, many different kind of settings. And we are implementing them from interviewing and recruiting new employees to building a profile of employees or clients and personas to onboarding. There are many, many ways, and not only in the corporate environment, but also in family consultation, many, many ways. Okay. I would like to share 2 case studies. One of them, the first one, it's an international food and beverage company that we are all familiar with. And we were asked by the OD VP that they would like us to train their HR and OD managers and the internal coaches that they have in this company. They had 2 challenges. The first one, the company training and development, not perceived actually, they are very logical, they are very old school, and they are perceived as boring. You know, they are coming to lectures after lecture after lecture, and people are sick of that. And the second challenge that they had with the internal coaches, that the internal coaches actually are managers in the organization who are also coaching as a part of the role other employees in the organization. And they found it very, very difficult to engage other coaches and to open them up. You know, it's a very challenging situation. As a coach that is also a manager and you need the employee to open up, it's not an easy task. So first of all, over here, we did a few things. We started to develop a new train the trainer workshops for the OD and HR managers, and that is based on SpeakUp, our tool for organizations. And really, we took different parts of the employee journey, and we took whatever they did, and we translated it, and we transform it into something much more juicy, much more engaging. Instead of delivering and bringing the content themselves, we created activity that helped the employee to bring their wisdom by themselves, the manager to share knowledge. So the first part was really to break down the most crucial processes that they want to focus on. And then we really created a train the trainer workshop for each of those processes using the kit. And the second thing is we taught the coaches how to use SpeakUp and photos and images in the beginning of the first introduction coaching session, and to make it fun and to make it engaging. And without even realizing, suddenly the whole conversation became a completely different movie. It becomes fun and interesting. And just to give you the result, this is an example. First of all, 98% of the participants in this process said that the content was useful. 100% said that the workshop was engaging. This is crazy. But for those who know points of view, then I think it's expected also, because this is exactly what we know how to do best. And 96% mentioned that they implemented the key tools few months after on a regular base. And again, to be honest, we did lots of good things over there, but lots of the change started and happened because of the integration of using photos and images and metaphors as a part of their ongoing routine processes, and just making them much more juicy, engaging, and even deep. I would like to share with you case study number 2. This is a global pharmaceutical company, I think one of the biggest one. And here we worked with the strategy. These are 2 projects from the last 6 months. And here we worked with the strategy department, business partners. And they had 2 challenges as well. One challenge is that the business partners, they are very professional. And this is, again, a very left-brain oriented company. They are very professional in what they are doing. They are, most of them, coming from science and scientific and engineers. But when they were working with their stakeholders, communication-wise, they find it very difficult to speak up and to speak their truth, and to really create a situation when they can create a dynamic that doesn't talk only about the facts, but really change the whole interpersonal relationship. So that was one of the challenges that they had. And the second one is that this team was distributed over 3 different continents. They had offices all over, and every time that they met also, it wasn't easy for them to connect. And every time, again, since their language is already very didactic and very logic, so it was very, they had a lack of feeling of belonging and connection. So here what we did, by the way, we do 2 different things. First of all, we implemented SpeakUp Digital. In the previous study case I shared with you, the SpeakUp toolkit, the physical here, because they are working remotely, we taught them how to use SpeakUp Digital and how they can turn it into a part of their ongoing team meetings and one-on-one sessions, and every discussion that they are doing, how to use SpeakUp in order to ignite the conversation. And the second thing is we taught them some communication skills and tools using points of view materials to really help them to speak the truth. And they found it that sometimes when they did it, and again, even in a very, very formal and official company like this pharmaceutical company, they found it that when they were using these photographs and images-based tools, suddenly it brought a new spirit into the meetings. Surprisingly, in the beginning, they were very doubtful, I have to say. It took us even more than 8 meetings before they closed the deal with us, to meet with us again and again to make sure that they're not making a mistake. They didn't know. Really, it took us, I think, maybe even more than 8 meetings to convince them to trust us. And also, after they trusted us, we had the team coming, and they were also doubtful about what to bring cards and images to the meetings. You are crazy. And then when it happens, they notice that this helped them to really speak up. Because when they were talking about the photograph, it allows them to say things that usually they wouldn't say. But right now, because this card is on the table, it really changed the whole dynamic with the stakeholders. We got amazing feedbacks over there. Here is what we got from the senior director who invited us. I want to say thank you for such a great learning experience and overall support to help us be assertive business partners. And, sometimes to come to a very left-brain oriented environment can be very challenging, I have to say. Also, last week, we did a session with Clickit, which I don't have with me. I'm going to bring it very soon. Only if you can, maybe I think you're here, if you can bring me some Clickit. I want to show you our new training kits. only on Wednesday, we delivered also for a huge pharmaceutical company, different one, I think you know them, Pfizer, a session to 160 employees at the same time using ClickIt. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. And again, you know, stepping in this arena of those left brain people who are very, you know, they hear cards and they hear photos, they look at us, you know, like this, you can really feel, you know, they are looking at us like we are from out of space. And I told them, listen, it's fine, we are used to it. But be patient with me. Let's talk in about an hour and a half, and you will see for yourself. And you will not believe what happened after 1 hour and a half. We just talked about it. You see people sitting in suits. The most cynical people in the world, you see them sitting on the floor with ClickIt, opening it up, doing some things with the photos. And people came to us and said, listen, I see people that I will never believe that this is how they'll do. So I think this is a part of the magic, and it's not the magic of points of view. Yes, it is the magic of points of view, but it's the magic of integrating photos and images and turning each training session into a magic and a juicy interaction. Before I give you time to questions, I want to share with you that because of the so much training programs that we delivered in the last year, and actually, to be honest, the last 2 weeks were like the most craziest. We are doing training after training, and last Thursday also we broke up a record. We had at the same time 10 points of view certified trainers facilitating points of view training programs only in Israel. And so doing that in the last year and understanding more and more of how we can really bring those solutions and make them more affordable and more practical into organization, we understood that we need to bring these new solutions to the market, and we need to have more trainers with us to help us to provide these solutions. And this is how we developed the business trainer certification. And the whole idea of our business trainer certification, it's not only to elevate your training skills, which this is what you are going to receive, I will share with you in a moment. For us, it's really to create an elite group of very experienced and with a lot of knowledge professionals from all around the world who can really help us pay it forward and deliver our unique training programs locally. So yes, we are looking for business coaches and organizational consultants, but we do have also some managers, HR and OD from organizations that are joining this program. So this program, it's first of all about really teaching our trainees how to use experiential learning skills and methodologies and to integrate it already to what they are already doing. So this is the basic. It's really how to take what you're already doing, but just doing it much more juicy and experiential. The second thing is we have new training programs and workshops that we developed in the last year. It's actually not last year, it's many, many years, but in the last year, we repackaged them and brand them. For those of you who know points of view, you know that everything that we are doing is all the way. So it's really to teach those workshops. Some of them are about bonding and relationships, some of them about teamwork, some of them about defining cultures or training the trainer, different kind of training programs. And one of the biggest thing, which I think is happening right now for us, it's this new ClickIt that we developed. Maybe I will try to stop the sharing. I would like to show you, and I will even take my background for a moment. We have this new ClickIt. It's like a new innovative training kit. We developed it because we needed it. We needed something to live in the training room that, you know, when you used to come to a training room, we used to have our own tool, and then when it's finished, everybody wants to have a card, and that's it. You go and it's, and we said, how can we leave something to the participants to use in between sessions, something that will be inspiring, engaging, and that they can keep on doing some work with it. So we started to think, and then we came up with something for ourselves. And then after it was such a significant thing, we opened it for everybody. So it's 4 different kits. We have 4 different ones. On each one of them, there is a different name. One called Walk the Talk, another one called Make It Happen, Follow Your Dreams, And what is the last one? I will remember in a moment. So this Clickit inside, you actually have everything you need from the pen that comes with it. And inside, there are, in each kit, there are different photos, by the way. There are 12 different photos. This is all perforation. It's stirred up. I'm not going to give you now, this is only a glimpse, but there are 12 different photos, 8 different question cards. For example, questions like, what challenges am I currently facing? What opportunities am I currently seeing? What's working for me? What's not working for me? So each kit has a different photo cards and different question cards. In each kit also there is a journal. This is a very beautiful and inspiring journal. There are sticky notes also that comes with it. In the journal itself, you can find lots of inspiration and quotes and questions. And also on the other side, there are those stickers. This is stickers. Okay. And the idea is that this Clickit, you can do lots of activities with this. We are implementing this kit, by the way, as a part of performance sessions, assessments, and employee assessments. And they are using it to create a more engaging process. And this becomes a canvas. In the end of the process, you can take the cards with the stickers, and it becomes a beautiful visual vision board, something that stays with each of the employees and resonates with them. And again, for us, this is like the big thing that we are doing, because in this business trainer certification, we are teaching our certified trainers how to use Clickit in different kind of settings, how to use the different photo cards, the different question cards, the sticky notes, the journal, into creating endless workshops and training programs. So I will continue. Again, I have many more things to share with you about Clickit, but I will leave it maybe to the end. Also, this business trainer certification gives an official certification and accreditation by ICF, and also it will be by SHRM. Not only that, it means that our certified trainers, when you are working with the organizations, and many of them also are looking for ICF units or SHRM, you will be able to provide them as well with accreditation, official global accreditation. There is also an ongoing professional development. It's a long process. We are meeting on Zoom twice a month, 4 hours each. Each process is divided into some practical and professional integration and experience of a new training or a workshop template. And then also providing different kind of coaching and communication skills. And afterwards, after the program is over, there is ongoing professional development, marketing development. We are providing a marketing kit with everything that you can imagine, from postcards for social and presentations and many, many other things. And again, it's a huge business opportunity, and we are looking for not only talented professionals, coaches, and organizational consultants or HR. We are looking for professionals who are business-oriented, and they can see this huge potential, and they would like to grow with us the local market, to get our support, and to bring new projects. We don't want to sell a workshop or a training program. We're really looking to sell projects. So we are looking for people who will be able to join and to build this new, amazing, exciting opportunity together with us. I think maybe you might have more questions about this and about other things that I just talked about. We have one program that we started, by the way, in 3 weeks ago, with 70 participants, amazing participants from 34 countries that we selected very carefully. And again, just to say that this program is not for everyone, and we are doing a long process of interviews and really to make sure that there is a mutual win-win and fit, because we are not looking to teach you those skills, although this is what you are going to learn. We are looking to build a network of trainers who can deliver our programs, grow the business, and what we are teaching is only a small part of it. So we started a few weeks ago, the first program, and we are still looking for more partners in specific countries, and we have a new program is going to open up in January, the end of January. We already have participants from selected countries, and of course, I don't know if they already sent here in the chat, but in the chat, I think soon you will be able to, if you have any calling or if you find it interesting and you want to explore more and to see if this can be something who can work for you and for us, let's set up a meeting. We have to do a meeting either with me or with our CEO, with Nimrod, and with Shani from my team. So if you have any calling to learn more, make sure to reach out because probably it's going to fill up very, very fast. And I think I talked a lot. I need to take a sip of water. And I'm going to give you now the chance to ask me anything you want to ask me about the program, about the new manager, old manager, about anything which we just talked about. So feel free. You can just unmute yourself. We would love to hear you. Well, I'm becoming very good in the presentation if there is no question. Yes.
Hi, Yaron. This is
Hi.
Delina.
Selena.
Delina.
Hello,
Hi.
Dalina.
Earlier, you mentioned in the case study 1, where the audience was HR and OD managers. I'm just wondering, this ClickIt, does it replace, like for example, organizations, they do performance management, performance coaching and all. Is ClickIt one method to replace all these older methods, or is it like an additional add-on?
It depends on the organization. First of all, yes, it can replace it, and it offers much more possibilities. It's much more flexible, and something that also I think very important, the design of it and the way that it's really the way that it looks, it's really appealing. People are opening it up. You need to see it. Also, like I mentioned last week in Pfizer, it's like opening the best gift of their life, and they are wow, and the photos so first of all, it can be replaced. Anything of they are already doing. Sometimes, to be honest, we see that the process, it's too much to replace it right away. So our approach, we are doing it step by step. We also had this morning, we had a very interesting also discussion with an international company. We are doing it step by step. First of all, whenever they are ready, we are doing the replacement. But if they are not ready, we are taking what they are already doing, and we are teaching them how to do what they are already doing with the points of view ClickIt and with SpeakUp, and to integrate it smoothly. Usually we know that after this is done, then they ask, say, okay, great, now let's take it to the next level. We understand that we are doing something very innovative. And for some people, it's too much sometimes, especially for those international organizations. Most of them, they are still in the old methodological way, and they are taking new things very slowly, and we respect and we understand it. So yes, it can replace. The right process is to first adapt it and then slowly replace it.
Well, basically, my partners and I, we just formed a company where we provide consultancy, coaching, and training to help organizations to achieve sustainability and growth through empowering their employees.
Mm-hmm.
So which is why I'm very interested in this ClickIt. I'm really interested to know more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm based in Malaysia. I'm just wondering if, like, at this point in time, have you been working with Malaysian?
We've been working in Malaysia and more about the personal development and more like in the personal development arena. In the business domain, we didn't do a lot of work, and we are looking for business partners and trainers in Malaysia. So I think there is a huge. And just to say maybe another thing that I think might be interested, there are organizations who are taking the ClickIt and we are redesigning it and customizing it for them.
Mm.
So yes, some of the organizations, when they are ready to take it to the next step, we are telling them, great, now let's identify your problems. The thing is that in the points of view, we have a factory in China, and we have a logistics center. Most of the time, we are able to provide organizations this training kit, even when it's customized, in a cheaper price that they paying for their own existing training materials. So in the end, we probably can provide them with the best offer, something that is going to be price competitive. It's going to be 10,000 times more creative, more engaging. It can be much more versatile. So this is the idea.
Mm. So if for example, if I were to work with Points of View as a business partner, whereby we use ClickIt and all, do we use the name Points of View, or do I go
Yes.
with my own?
We teach you and we train you, and once you become certified, you are entitled to use the name Points of View. And again, in some cases, we're doing it already. Some organizations say, listen, we want to buy from you and to customize this kit. In that sense, sometimes when there is a huge project, we are even putting a white label, and we're putting the Points of View name aside, and we are really designing and customizing a complete solution for the organization, so we can work both ways. We understand. By the way, in the past, we didn't do it. In the past, we were very strict about the use of the Points of View name. And and then again, when moving from the personal development arena and the professional into the business world, we understood that we need to be more flexible. We need to be more open. And in order to really do big projects, and when I say big project, I don't mean only big money, which is great, but big projects also give us the ability to have a huge impact. It means that there is hundreds, if not thousands, if not more than that, of employees that we have the ability to really, knock on their door and to make them reflect on their life and to make a big change. So because of that, we are now doing lots of things like white label that we didn't do before.
One last question, if there's nobody asking. So what is the difference between like ClickIt and Punctum, and what's the other one? Coaching?
Speak Up. So there is a differentiation between our tools like the coaching game and Speak Up and Punctum and all of them, and between ClickIt. Those tools, they are a complete set. Usually it's with a lot of cards also. It's more a tool for the professional itself. For the business coach who is now coming, probably it will be much more smart for them to use the coaching game as the main tool because it has a lot more cards. But as I said before, what happens when the coach or the facilitator is leaving the training? The employee doesn't stay with anything. And this is why we created ClickIt. ClickIt, it's a kind of a training kit that each individual in the training receives. And it's like a smaller version of the real toolkit. And it's also including a journal, it's including the sticker, it's including everything that you will need, but it's a smaller version, which means that it's much more cheaper and affordable for organization to have it for all of the employees.
Interesting. Okay.
This is the difference.
Thank you, Yaron.
Thank you for your questions. Very important.
Thank you.
Yes, anybody else, please feel free to comment, to ask a question. To say hello. I see some familiar faces, which is so fun to see from the other parts of the world. And just to say that the program also includes a Speak Up Toolkit and Speak Up digital license for a year in our enterprise plan, which means that you can use it. Here, Catherine from our program, I just saw her now using the ClickIt. It's also including a 32 ClickIt sets that you receive. In the ClickIt sets, by the way, there is a QR code. So in the end of your training, your participants can scan it, and they put your code, and they get a certificate with your name on it. A certificate with your name on it, in some cases with ICF CCUs, and something that they can share all around. So everything that I just mentioned now, it's a part of the package that you get as a Points of View business trainer.
That's the kit. That's the kit I was waiting for, Yaron. You know that.
Yes.
I have to leave you because I have to do a managerial training tomorrow. And I take the new kit to show them. So I'm very excited.
Send us photos.
Okay, yes, sure.
Bye, Katarinush. Bye, Kate.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Okay, yes.
Because I got a direct question, but I think it's a good one, and maybe you could answer. It's the tools are really magical, but for Canada, it is hard to deal with companies who are left-minded. How can we engage with them and reach them in a good way?
I think it's a very good question, and thank you, Marek. And Marek is the head of our development team, and his hands and fingertip, how you call it?
Fingertips.
Yes, are in everything that I just shared and showed you. What we are teaching also our trainers is, and this is a part of our motto, it's to dream big and to start small. So if you ask us, or if you ask me now, what is the best way to enter into a left brain oriented organization, it's first of all to come to a meeting with the people who are making the decision and give them an experience, play with them, invite them to take a challenge that they are currently facing in their role, in the organization, something that they would like to take the next 20 minutes to explore and to have another maybe point of view and to play with them. Usually, once you do that, suddenly the magic starts to happen. And sometimes it's not enough, and we're inviting them also to collect a group of managers from the organization, to bring them together for a pilot on our behalf for free. But they have to really be committed and to bring them for 1 hour, 1 and a half. And then once we are doing this activity, for those of you who already know points of view, sometimes it takes on the spot and people are from the first moment, you know, everybody already fall in love and the hearts are open. Sometimes it happens after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 25 minutes, but we know there will be a minute in the training room, in the workshop, that suddenly this personal connection will happen. And from that moment on, everything is clear. So again, the answer is to dream big, start small, find somebody in the organization that willing to try it, make them a partner, and then one by one start to bring on board another few people. And then after a few months, if you did a very dedicated and systematic work, you will find yourself suddenly starting to move into bigger scales. This is how we are doing it. This is how we're doing it for the last 2 years, and the fruits are amazing. But you need patience, which is a rare. It's a good lesson for me, I can tell you. To be patient, it was a very good lesson for me. Okay, so before we go, maybe just, you know, to wrap it up, and I'm asking you, from this short webinar and short, mostly I talked, what are you taking with you? Any observation, any thought, any insight, any action item? I don't know, whatever it is, if you can write it down, if you can even unmute yourself and say it out loud, anything that you are taking with you, a thought or an insight. I love points of view. Congratulations, kisses from Brazil. I have to leave now. And yes, write it down. I see some reactions. Great to hear. In a word, looking forward to business certification. Great work. Thank you, Sarah. We communicate with images since the cave. Exactly. Really like that. Thank you. 2 types of managers. 2 managers' brain. Thank you. I think that it's possible to make a difference at an organization on. Great encouragement. Perfect. Thank you very much. Inspirational and exciting to empowering new manager thinking. Photo speaks the right part of the brain. Thank you. First of all, it's a pleasure. That's a very short meeting with people from all around the world, and this is what you are taking. I really hope to have the privilege to work together with you. If you feel there is something about what we do here in Points of View, and you are already working with organizations, and you want to take it to the next level and to add some new tools, some new activities, and also looking to build really like to take your business-wise to the next level and to build with us your local market, reach out to us. Let's meet, let's talk, let's make it happen. So just to tell you, it's a very special moment in time. It's the Jewish New Year. Starts in 2 days. So it doesn't matter if you are Jewish or not. It's energetically, you know, there is something in the air. And two things I want to share. One, there is a belief that in this special time, there is a crack between earth and sky, and God can hear all of our wishes. And again, doesn't matter if we believe in that, if we are Christian, Buddha. So just an invitation, take advantage of it, make a wish in your own free time. What do you want to invite into your life? Maybe if this is really true, maybe he will hear, he, she, and they will send it to you. This is one. And two, just to tell you that the last year for us here in Israel was very challenging. It was a very dark year for us in Israel, in the whole region here, unfortunately. So please just send your prayers and your heart for peace to come to this region. We need it. And thank you for the support that you are sending with words, without words. So Shana Tova. Have a happy New Year. Thank you, everyone. Hope to meet you face to face, or at least online again this year. Shalom. Adios. Salamat. Besos. Marianush, good to see you. Bye-bye, everyone.